The 922nd edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code MMA SGPN.
Howdy-ho, degenerinos. Welcome to episode 922 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's dedicated to our friend Jong. In the Discord, the man who, Hungerman Jong, Superfan Parlay is named after. He hit his own parlay. He didn't follow our parlay. He hit his own. On the weekend, Alberg, Sterling, Rouston, Montague, plus 589. So a big hit for our friend Hungerman Jong. So this goes out to him. I am one of your hosts of this here show. I'm El Picante, Jeff Fox. Alongside me, Daniel Gumby Vreeland. We've got some Oktagon to talk about today. One of our favorite promotions. So we won't talk much about the UFC. Dan probably doesn't want us to anyway, because I trounced Dan in the UFC.
It was all chalk. It was all chalk. No underdogs.
I hit one dog. We hit one dog. We hit a plus 135.
Well. Yeah, it was just the chalk that you caught me on.
It was chalk. So I went 8-4, but Gumby is still ahead just barely. You're $100 ahead of me on the year. So there you go. Updated.
There's still time. This is when you're supposed to say
there's plenty of time. There is still time for me to catch up. So, UFC Perth it happened. I don't know. Is there much to say about it? Not really.
It just happened. Regularly throughout that fight card, I kept being reminded that this is why people complain about these cards. Because there are people I cared about, but then it was I care about Ondřeje Nepely, or cared, might be past tense at this point, but it's just a reminder that his fight IQ is not really good, and there's this major flaw in his game that has caused everybody else to stop caring about him far before I did. But that's why people are bent out of shape, and I just kept getting reminded that multiple times, we even won the Colby Thickness fight, but it was just man, that striking just doesn't look good sometimes.
No. Charging him with your head down doesn't look good either.
Yeah, and he does
kept putting his head down and
he does that sometimes, and then there was this other thing where he would get really close to him, and it almost looked like he went up on his tippy toes, and he just because he didn't want to get close. It was bad. Speaking of not wanting to get close,
sweat.
maybe
that
we
was
should.
A sweat. That
underdog
was a sweat.
I said it after the second round. The whole bunch of guys in the Discord got in on the live line at him at plus 190. I was like, one takedown wins. One takedown wins the fight. Musasa is not going to get back up. His grappling, he has got some of the worst defensive grappling, I think.
Not takedown defense is good though.
It's not bad. The takedown defense. Well, I think it's just because he's so strong. He's a really athletic dude. But once he's down, he was like, what is this? He was real confused by ooh, jiu-jitsu is nuts. It's just no urgency, no. I mean, I guess a little urgency. He was trying to climb up the wall with his feet and do that flip over thing, but not a lot of technique. And that's the second time we've seen him on the mat look kind of crappy. Because he did. Who is it against? Carlos Vera, who's again kind of one-dimensional.
Yeah. And then we found out MMA judging and/or refereeing still has a lot to
Jake Matthews. I'm sure you're talking about.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
The funny thing is too, though, the stoppage in the first place was likely a mistake, right? Because the first round stoppage with 2 seconds left, which is when he called the end to the fight, was a mistake because Magny wasn't out. And he didn't check his arm. Now, he did just stop it because Magny's arm went limp because I don't know if it's he playing possum or what he was doing, but that's happened a lot of times before, right? That's Nicholas Mota Trey Ogden. That's Dan Argueta, Ronnie Lawrence. That's there's a whole bunch of examples of that having happened. And when you mess it up and stop the fight when there's still time left, it's a no contest. It sucks. Everybody's not happy. We don't ruin the fight by then being I was just calling the end to the round. No, you weren't. There were 3 seconds left, you idiot.
Yeah. It's
and I had no skin in that game either. I picked Matthews to win. We weren't playing it in real life. I had no skin in that, but that's awful officiating.
Yeah. It's just a reminder. It's it's still a new sport compared to all the other sports we watch. This one is like super new. So, all right, we have got some Oktagon to talk about today. We'll cheer you up, Gumby, with your horrible performance. We'll do some regional, which you're good at, right? I assume was your regional picks good this weekend?
Yeah, I think we were. I didn't do the whole spreadsheet yet, but I think we were break even on pretty much everything. PFL Europe, PFL MENA, and LFA. A bunch of canceled fights though, so it was like very. There was not like much of a chance to go way up or way down because it was like a lot of chalky stuff left and there wasn't too many fights. So I don't have the totals yet. I doubt this was the week we cracked 40, but we're still up there.
You can tread water, as long as you're not losing money, that's fine. Tread water until the next big weekend where you hit up. Oh, actually, you got Contender Series coming up, so there you go. Only a couple of days. That could put you over 40 for sure. All right, we're gonna go to Bratislava, Slovakia, and I'm probably gonna butcher a bunch of names. Before that, reminder: check out the SGPN app in the App Store for easy access to all our free picks and props. So SGPN in your App Store. All right, so Oktagon 77 is going down on Saturday. As I said, in Bratislava, Slovakia. It is called Engizek versus Humburger. That would be October the 4th, noon start time. UFC's pay-per-view, so this should be good. This will be your tailgating per se for the UFC. So if you want to go see it in person, it's taking place in the Zimní stadion, Ondřeje Nepely, or something like that. Bratislava, Slovakia. I did promise you mispronunciations. You're going to get them. 11 fights on the card, or I think 10 because they have Topology has the same fight on there twice. So a lot of names you're going to be familiar with, especially if you are a ardent follower of our show, because we cover a lot of Oktagon because it's a fun promotion. So, all right, we have got first, like I said, Topology's got it out of order. This is a big middleweight fight card because we've got the semifinals of the Tipsport Gamechanger middleweight tournament, and then basically the fighters that lost in the quarterfinals are fighting.
I think the first one we're going to talk about today too is a reserve fight. Technically, it's they're the official fill-in should anything happen to somebody in the finals.
Right. So that would be Samuel Krištofič. He is from Slovakia, I think, right? Or Czech Republic, or Slovak Republic. That's different than Slovakia. Someone, John, complimented you on your African geopolitical knowledge. How about this? Slovak Republic and Slovakia the same or what?
I believe so.
Have we talked about this already before?
I believe so.
Okay. He's fighting Jaime Cordero. He is from Germany. 3 5-minute rounds, 185. And as Gumby said, he thinks this is the backup fight if someone falls out of one of the semifinal fights we're going to cover before. And the Tipsport Gamechanger, fun tournament. We'll talk more about it in a sec. Have you seen that there's odds for this, Gumby?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, no fun then. All right, this one basically is a pick'em, which is fun. Cordero, we'll tell you about first. 9-2 with 1 no contest, 5 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out once. He's 8-2 with 1 no contest in Oktagon. He's won 3 straight and gone 6-1 with 1 no contest over his last 8. His past 3 wins, all via finish. He's not lost a fight since October 2023. Used to fight at 170, 3 years younger than Krištofič, minus 118. Krištofič Pirate with no E at the end. 17-7, 5 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's been knocked out twice. He's 11-6 in Oktagon. He's on 1-3 over his last 4, 2-4 over his last 6. He got TKO'd in his last bout. He has fought at pretty much every weight class: 170, 205, and heavyweight. 2015 pro MMA debut, 2 inches taller than Cordero, minus 118. So it really is a pick'em.
I'm gonna go with Jaime Cordero. And I wavered a little bit on this because I went back and I watched the Krištofič versus Dominik Humburger quarterfinal, which like it was all Krištofič early. Like he dropped Humburger, his hands were looking good, but just like there's something about him that like once upon a time he used to have this like crazy put away power where he would sleep guys instantly. Like even as recently as that Vamola fight, like he slept Vamola really fast in that fight. But like it seems like that power has just kind of like lost a touch recently, which means he's kind of got to pile on more and more strikes in order to get the finish. And my problem with that is he's just got like a lot of wind up on a lot of the stuff he throws, particularly when he's trying to be first. And on top of that too, like his cardio it's never been his strong suit. Like even if you want to go back to when he was much younger, like he was much younger, he used to like to wrestle a little bit more than he does now. and he'd run out of gas wrestling, and now he runs out of gas because he winds up big. And so, like, you know, he's one of those guys who, you know, it might look really good after one round. It'd be like, oh man, he is just going to cruise here. And then it just slowly seems to fall away from him as the fight goes on. And that's kind of what happened in the Humburger fight, right? Like, he was up in that, Humburger started to take over and eventually won it. And for me, Cordero, you know, like, even if he did try to wrestle, Cordero, heavy with the hips, you know, a little bit faster with the hands, definitely fights smarter, isn't the kind of guy who gets sucked into a brawl like, you know, some of Krištofix's former opponents. So I think, like, all of those things play pretty well here. And like, notoriously, his gas tank is really good. Like, he's good late in fights. And as a result, like, that's kind of a nightmare for Krištofix. So I'm going to go with Jaime Cordero here. All
right. Get some even money. No, not even money, but pick a money here. All right. We are going to, this one's 185 too, but this one is not a reserve fight. These guys were in the tournament as well, I think. Right?
I think so. I don't think so.
It doesn't matter. We'll watch it regardless. Vlasto Seppo. We've talked about Vlasto Seppo before because it's a fun name to say, and I remember that. He's from Serbia. Daniel Schwindt from Germany, 185, as I said. It is a middleweight heavy card. That would be a bad thing in the UFC, but it's fun in Oktagon. We'll tell you about Schwindt first. 8-3, 7 knockouts, 1 submission. So he's finished everyone, and he's been knocked out 3 times. He owes us rounds, damn it. 2-0 in Oktagon. He's won 3. No, actually, I guess he wasn't in the tournament then. He's won 3 straight fights, 4 out of 5. The past 3 wins, all via TKO. He's fight at 170, 3 years younger than Seppo, an inch taller, plus 160. El Chapo. I think that nickname's taken, but that would be Seppo. 13-3, 9 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. He owes his rounds as well, which means Yanni thinks this one is going to the distance for sure. 5-2.
He doesn't know anything about Oktagon, I guarantee you.
Yeah, he's never even heard of it. Septo's, someone defended him in our on our YouTube the other day. Yeah, okay, come on. It was Yanni burner account. 5-2 in Oktagon. He's won 5 of 6, Seppo has, including his last fight via TKO. He used to fight at 170 and 205. He got a draw in 1 professional boxing match, and he's at minus 233.
Yeah, I'm going to go Vlasto Seppo. He's got his issues too. You know, I actually think he's got some of the same issues as like Krištofič, right? Like, he winds up a little bit big on his punches. He overextends himself sometimes. He's hyper aggressive. As a result, like, you know, his punches definitely don't have the same zip on them in the 3rd round as they do in the 1st round. But the difference here for me is the opponent. Is that, like, yes, he might have some of those same flaws, but Schwindt kind of plays right into his strengths. He's a guy who gets suckered into a firefight pretty easily. He's one of those people who, like, you know, comes out looking like he's going to stay real technical. And then as soon as the other guy tags him with something big, he's like, got to get it back, you know? And as you mentioned, that's gotten him knocked out a few times before. You know, Seppo is kind of easy to hit on the return too, because he gets a little wild. But, like, I think at the end of the day, him being the aggressor here means Schwindt will get hit first. And there's enough knockout power there for Seppo that I like his chances. So I'm going to go Vlasto Seppo. And my guess is he's probably going to get a knockout here.
Is he going to Blasto? So he's going to Blasto. Probably already did that.
Blasto.
I'm sure that's been a title already.
Yeah. I think it was just Blasto Seppo was the title.
Yes.
Time.
Yeah. Yep. Well, it could be the return or part 2.
Return of the Blasto.
Return of the Blasto. There you go. There. See, I was just going to say, we'll come up with something better. We just did. Gumby did. All right. We're going to come up with more winning plays after I tell you about mybookie.ag. We're brought to you by them. Obviously, MyBookie is your place to bet in football and everything else. Their prop builder is second to none. Their motto is bet in anything, anywhere, anytime. They have easy deposit, lightning fast payouts using crypto. They will have Oktagon lines up there if they have not already by the time you hear this and or see this. So head over to mybookie.ag. Use our promo code MMASGPN. That way you get 100% bet back bonus for $500, up to $500 for new customers. So that's 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers at mybookie.ag, promo code MMASGPN. And we're brought to you by Novig. That's Novig, all one word. Novig is America's #1 sports production market. Since Novig is an exchange, you know you're getting some of the best prices in the market. Novig is available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. All right, let's see what else I can mispronounce. I can't even say SGPN. They're just letters. There's no pronunciation.
This is one of the trickier names coming out.
It is. This is Smullen. Smullen is hard to say. You're right.
No,
Bookie. I know about Ivan Buchinger.
Yeah.
Versus Richie Smullen. That's what we're talking about next. Buchinger, we've talked about him plenty of times. He is from the Slovak Republic. We're talking about Richie Smullen. He is from Ireland. They're fighting 155. So they're not middleweight. Imagine that. We'll tell you about Bookie first. 45-10. 12 knockouts, 26 submissions. He's been knocked out 7 times. 7-3 in Oktagon. He's a former 2-time champion, 2 different weight classes champion. He's won 2 straight and 4 of 5. Both of his past 2 wins have come via finish. He also has multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get a shirt, get a merch, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. He also has a Cage Warriors championship. So this man has a lot on his mantle. He used to fight at 145. Like I said, he was multiple weight class champ. 2008 pro MMA debut. Despite all the accolades, plus 115. Smullen, 15-3-1, 6 knockouts, 6 submissions. He's been submitted once. He's 1-0 in Octagon. He's won 4 straight, 9 of 10. All his past 4 wins have come via finish. He's not lost since June 2023. He went 0-1 in the UFC. 4-2 in Bellator. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get a shirt, get a merch, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Used to fight at 145. 5 years younger than Buchinger, an inch of reach on him, minus 159.
He was on that season of The Ultimate Fighter.
No, yeah. Right? Yes. Yeah. I think that's why he got into the UFC, right? He
for one fight.
For one fight. Yeah. He lost to Luis Pena in the Ultimate Fighter finale. I don't know if he was, maybe Topology doesn't have his tough results, but anyhow.
Yeah, I know.
Go right ahead.
I'm pretty sure that was tough.
Of course you do.
I'm gonna go Ivan Buchinger. When this fight was booked, I was like, great fight for Smullen. I'm glad to see him get his launch forward. He's kind of always needed that name. And the more and more I've thought about it, I just think Buchinger is kind of like a bad matchup for him. Rich Smullen, really smart grappler when he's on top. If you watched his last fight, he fought Baborik in that fight and got taken down a lot. But sort of the beauty of Smullen is his sweeps are good enough that 90% of the dudes who take him down wind up in a worse spot anyway. And so his own grappling's pretty good. He's got good sweeps. He's a little bit wild on the feet too. That seems to be a trend with the guys that Oktagon goes after, is that they seem to like him to throw a little nuts. And Smullen, wide with the hooks, but his forte is grappling anyway. But is he going to be able to get that grappling going against Buchinger? Because as old as Buchinger is and as many miles as this dude's got on the tank, he still continues to be a really tough out in the grappling department, right? There are people who shoot on him who are pretty damn good wrestlers, and his front headlocks after stuffing the takedowns are really dangerous. He's threatening chokes. He's hitting you with knees. Vladimir Lengel had a ton of issues with it. Hafeni Nafuka had a lot of issues with him. And he seems like he's just not going away the way you expect somebody with those kind of miles on the tires to. When we talk about that being what cancels out Richie Smullen's best part of our game, then when you look at it on the feet, I do think he's better than Smullen on the feet. He's definitely straighter to the target than Smullen is. His pressure's really good. He's clearly got more just shock you power. And it sort of feels like one of those fights where Smullen is going to try to get in on a couple of takedowns, either not get it or wind up on bottom. And he's going to be discouraged by that. He's going to be discouraged by not being able to hit the sweep because, I said he can sweep 90% of the people. I don't think Buchinger's one of them. And then
he's at 10%.
Right. He's one of the 10%. And then if he gets hit with one of those straight shots, he might be oh, damn, that really hurts. It feels like he's going to get hit with one punch that opens his eyes really wide and then has him a little bit more gun shy with what he's returning. So I kind of think Buchinger is just the perfect anecdote for, whatever poison Richie Smullen is bringing. So I'm going to go with the dog here.
All right. I checked. Smullen wasn't Ultimate Fighter. He had cramping and wasn't able to actually fight. So that's why we don't really have results for him. So there you go. And Dana White thought he was faking because Dana White's a good guy.
Weird as hell.
Because Dana White's a good guy. All right. You got a winner there. Now.
Yeah, but then they gave him a fight anyway. Because
all right. We're into our Tipsport Gamechanger semifinal bout. It's in the co-main event. So they win. Was it €250,000? We haven't talked about it for a little bit.
I know it's. Right? I think it's the whole tournament together is $1 million. They keep saying €1 million prize pool, but I don't know if that's split up between all the guys. I don't know if that's cumulative just for the winner. I don't. There's €1 million somewhere.
Yeah, it's true. That is a very, very true statement. All right, this is Krzysztof Jotko. He is from Poland. Hojat Khajevand. He is from Iran. They're fighting at, like I said, 185, 3 5-minute rounds. Winner goes to the finals. Khajevand is 10-4, 3 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted twice. He's 5-1 in Oktagon. He's won 3 straight and 6 of 7. He's a year younger than Jotko, plus 400. Yikes. Jotko, 27-6 with 1 no contest, 7 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted twice. He's 2-0 in Oktagon. He's won 3 straight and gone 5-1 with 1 no contest over his last 7. TKO win in his last bout. He's not lost since October 2022. 11-6 in the UFC. No contest in PFL. Fought at 170 and 205. 2010 Pro MMA debut. Minus 769. Yikes.
Yeah, and at that price, I was like trying to figure out a way to get behind Hojat Khajevand, and I just couldn't do it. I did everything in my power to try to figure out a way because like Jotko's good at fighting, right? Like, are we sure about this? Like, that's a question as much as it is a statement. But like,
I guess,
yeah, like constantly in the UFC, you'd be like, I don't want to pick Krzysztof Jotko, and then you'd be like, but he's probably gonna win. And it's just like there's nothing exciting about what he's doing, but also like that's 100% of the reason why I would pick him to beat Khajevand, because Khajevand is like, look, low hands, power doubles. It's kind of his bread and butter. It worked against Wawrzyniak, but like even in that fight, he wound up in the bottom in a lot of those exchanges. He looked like the worst striker in some of those exchanges, and he just got enough to get the nod. And against Jotko, like, we've seen people beat Jotko, but like, are we going to see people just like outposition him constantly? I mean, not since Will Fleury did it, right? And he was all hopped up on roids for that fight, right? Because that's the no contest. And so, like, as much as I would like to say Hojat Khajevand is live here, but like his path to victory is he needs 10 minutes of control time. I don't think that happens against Krzysztof Jotko often enough. So I'm going to say Krzysztof Jotko. I think he controls the position. I think his boxing winds up being very annoying to watch. And he catches here. So wouldn't recommend playing the -7, whatever. But like, yeah, I'm going to pick him to win.
All right. Jotko is the pick to win. All right. Before we get to our main event and our lightning round place, let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. It is a great place to play fantasy pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats. And it's available for a ton of sports. Gumby's got to play for you right now. Probably not baseball. I guess it could be baseball, right?
There's 15 games starting about an hour from when we're recording this, so that's probably not going to get in your ears in time. I'll play some Monday Night Football action. Let's go with the higher than on Bo Nix's touchdowns. They've got him listed right now 1.5. Which is a decent projection, but I think he's going to throw for 2 on Monday Night Football. So give me Bo Nix touchdowns.
All right. Take it. I know that player. It's not a made-up name. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $100. Why am I only trying to give you 10? Play $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our code MMA SGPN. So that's underdogfantasy.com. And we're brought to you by Rhythm. That's RITHMM. Rhythm is off to a great start in college football and the NFL. Rhythm has introduced a leaderboard with weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you can win $1,000. Gumby, you haven't played for the people. NFL Week 4.
Yeah, sure. Let's stick with that game we were just talking about with the Broncos. I'm gonna get them laying the points, despite being 1-2, playing a team that's 2-1. They're laying 8.5, but I think they're gonna win by a couple of scores. So give me the Broncos on Monday Night Football.
All right. Use our promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. So see if Rhythm agrees with Gumby. Download RITHMM Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. All right, the other half of the Tipsport Gamechanger semifinals is Kerim Engizek. He is from Turkey, I think. No, maybe not.
I think you're right about that.
Turkey. I was right. I don't know why I questioned myself, but yes, Turkey. Dominik Humburger. He is not from Turkey. He is from one of the republics. Let me see which one it is again. Why is Tapology making me look at an ad first, Gumby? Do you know where he's from off the top of your head? No, you don't. He's from Czech Republic. That's where he's from. All right, 3 5-minute rounds, 185 is breaker down. I'll tell you about Humburger first. 11-2, 9 knockouts. He's never been finished. 2-0 in Oktagon. He's won 3 straight and 405. Past 2 wins both via TKO. He used to fight at 205. He's 5 years younger than Engizek, 2 inches taller, plus 160. And Engizek is 23-4, 14 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been submitted twice. He's 5-0 in Oktagon. He is the reigning champion of his weight class currently. He's won 16 straight fights, including his last one via TKO. He's not lost a fight since September 2014. So we're talking 11 years. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our shirts, get our merch, sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. Engizek used to fight at 170, 2010 pro MMA debut. 1-0 as a pro boxer, minus 233. So closer than the other semifinal, at least on paper.
It is, but I think it's wrong that it is. I'm going to go Engizek. I actually think he's probably a really great value in this fight. The reason being is like Humburger is pretty much just hung on in this tournament by being tough as hell and grabbing victory from like right under the nose of defeat. Like when he fought Mark Holm in the last round, first of all, Mark Holm dropped him with a jab. And like didn't just drop him because he was off balance, like dropped him with a jab. The wrestling early for Mark Holm was good. Like it just looked like Mark Holm was better than him everywhere. And then like all of a sudden Mark Holm just like forgot he was fighting or tired out or whatever. And so like Humburger took over that fight. And I want to say it was the same for him in the quarters. Was that Krištofič who fought? Yeah, it was Krištofič who hurt him. And again, Krištofič looked better than him, and he just kind of stuck around and turned it on late. And just like is the champ for a reason. I don't think that that's a path to victory on him. He's super, super light on his feet. He's going to be way faster than Humburger. Like if Humburger had trouble dealing with the power and the speed of Mark Holm, Engizek is going to just absolutely overwhelm him with that. And then too, when you add in the fact that Engizek is actually really, really tough when he gets on top of you, like he's very difficult to like control or to gain a little bit of distance on when he's, putting that pressure down. I think he's got so many different paths to beat Humburger here. And like Humburger's is, at least for this whole tournament has just been like survive and beat you later. And that's not a good path to victory against the champ. So I'll take Engizek, and I like the number 2.
All right, let's recap. We'll get you some bonus plays. We'll get out of here. You got Engizek. I don't know why I'm stumbling over that. Jotko, Buchinger, aka Bookie, Seppo, and not Krištofič, Cordero. All right, lightning round. Is that Bam Boom Pow? You got about 5 other fights to choose from.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Veronica Smolkova. I haven't seen odds on her yet, but like the Oktagon clearly likes her as a possible prospect. They got her lined up with somebody who's got no business being in there. She should pretty much steamroll that fight. So Veronica Smolkova is the first one. And then the other one I'm going to take is Tomas Signik. Tomas Signik, fun grappler. Always a good time to watch that guy fight, particularly if he can get the fight down. He's going to be fighting a guy coming into Oktagon. He's a German fighter. And I just think like Signik has maybe just like fought some of the tougher guys. And plus I like the fact that, seemingly at any point in time, if he gets you down, you're in danger of being, rear naked choked. So I'll take Signik and Smolkova as my 2 lightning round plays.
All right. You are set for Oktagon. You can get more of us in our Discord, sportsgamblingpockets.com/Discord. You can check us out on YouTube if you aren't already. Make sure you subscribe. We're at MMA Gambling Podcast. We have a lively comment section, so feel free to leave us questions or comments in there. You can hit us up on the old Twitter X, SGPN MMA. He's at Gumby Vreeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer, at Jeff Fox Writer on Instagram as well. Check out my Substack. Play my weekly UFC pick'em contest for free at moneymma.substack.com. Gumby has another podcast. Imagine that. It's called Top Turtle. Do you know who is on it this upcoming week?
Yeah, we're talking to Ozzy Diaz, who is going to be fighting at UFC. Well, what's the numbered UFC coming up? 320?
320. Yeah, I think
320. Yeah, so Ozzy Diaz is going to be on that card. We're talking to Ozzy Diaz. And then we're also talking to Eduardo Pena, who was supposed to have fought at Tough Enough last weekend. But actually, while he was being interviewed by me, he told me his fight got canceled. And we just had a good talk. His dad is a coral belt in jiu-jitsu, which is one of the few in the world, Sergio Pena. So it's a really interesting interview with like a fun prospect.
How do you get a coral belt? What's it after? You have to get like a certain number of stripes on the black belt?
Yeah, it's like 9 straight black belt is coral. Oof. And it's like, there's like half a dozen guys in the world who have it. So yeah, he's right up there.
Exciting. All right. You can check out, obviously, Top Turtle MMA. And, of course, we can be found at sportsgamblingpockets.com, sportsgamblingpockets.com/store, sportsgamblingpockets.com/Patreon. I'll say bye. I think it's my turn anyhow. We'll be back tomorrow. We got some PFL for you sickos. We'll be Bookie, Fox, Pirate, Vreeland. We'll talk to you tomorrow.